Morning, children. Welcome back after the exam. Hope the exam was very good and you all enjoyed that. Now, we'll start with our new chapter, that is chapter number 9, the living organisms and their surrounding. So, we'll start this chapter. Now, first of all, we all know living. Living means they can grow, they can give birth to new one, they can breathe, they can eat. All these are living things. Organisms. What is the meaning of organism? Organism means all the living creatures are known as organism. All the living creatures that are present in our environment are known as the organism. As we have studied as we are talking about environment, so what is environment? So environment is the living things and the non-living things that live in a particular area is known as its environment. As we are living in this environment, so all the things surrounding us is a is our environment. So living and non-living things that are living together, that they are sharing the same environment. So environment is the things that surround us, that is our environment. Now let's talk about the other factors of environment. Now we all know that environment can be different. So as we know that in the mountain area the environment will be different, in the deserts the environment is different, and in the seas, in the oceanic places, the environment is different, and we can find different types of animals and plants living in these areas. As we know, in the hilly areas the pine cone trees will be there, in the desert cactus trees will be there, and in the areas that are near to seashores then there will be coconut trees will be there, and in that areas we can find the crabs. In the mountain areas we can find the goat, yak and all, and in the deserts we can find the camel. So means different organisms are living in different environment. So environment of different animals are different, and they are means they have some features that are inside them, due to which they can survive in these environment. Now we'll study the components of environment. As we are talking about living and non-living things, so in the same way there are two components of environment, that is the abiotic components and the biotic components. So let's study about them. First of all, we'll talk about the biotic components. So what are the biotic components? So all the living organism, plants and animals present in an environment, all the plants, all the living beings, see the animals, plants, all the plants and animals living in a environment are known as the biotic components of that environment. All the living things, all the living things are there. Plants are there, animals are there, human beings are there, small creatures are there, fish are there, means many more are there. So all these are the biotic components. All the living components of environment are the biotic components. Okay. Now, or biological components, we also say them, we also call them biological components or the biotic components. So they are present in our environment. Now next one is the abiotic component. Abiotic means these are non-living components of the environment. That is written here. All the non-living things present in the environment are known as the abiotic components or the physical component. They are known as abiotic or the physical components of the environment. Like all the non-living things you can name, the soil is there, rock is there, air, water, and all these are the abiotic components of the environment. You can classify easily all the living things that are surrounded by you are the biotic components, and non-living things are abiotic. Living things are biotic and non-living things are abiotic components of the environment. Now let's come to the adaptation. Now what is adaptation? As we said that these camels are only found in the desert, they can't be found in the hilly areas. Similarly the yak and the what the goat is there, yeah, they can only be found in the hilly areas, not in the desert areas. Why it is so? Why camel can't be in this hilly areas? Why? So because they have body structure like that, they have some features in them that they are made for only desert areas. Okay, so these are what, these are adaptations. So the what is adaptation? The presence of specific features qualities. So the presence of specific qualities or certain habits that enable a plant or animal to live in its surrounding is called the adaptation. Means the specific features, they are inborn features in the animals or plants that they are made for only that type of habitat only. As we know that the cactus are grown in the desert areas, not in the hilly area. Similarly, pine cone trees are there that can only be grown in the mountain areas, not in the desert areas. So because they have some features, they have some inbuilt features that they are made for only that type of surrounding. Okay, so that is what adaptation, this is known as the adaptation. The presence of specific features that enable a plant or animal to live in that surrounding is known as the adaptation of the. Now, let's come to the habitat. Now we'll talk about the habitat. Habitat we say, or habitat, both are same. Okay, habitat. So the surrounding where organisms live is called its habitat. Yes, the surrounding is habitat, and some features in the organism is adaptation. Adaptation is the features, and habitat is the surrounding. So surrounding where organisms live is called its habitat. So any surrounding where an organism live is known as its habitat. Okay, for this cactus, what is the habitat? Desert is the habitat. For the pine cone tree, what is the habitat? It is mountain. For the crabs, it is the sea, ocean, it is the habitat. Okay, and for the algae, for the fishes is the water. Okay, so on the basis of this, habitat are of two types. First one is the terrestrial habitat, and the second one is the aquatic habitat. Terrestrial habitat means land based habitat. Yes, terrestrial means land based habitat, means on the land. So the land based habitat is known as the terrestrial habitat. So in land based habitat, what lives? All the animals we know. Horse is there, goat is there, means all the living organisms, as we are on the land, that are on the land, are known as the terrestrial habitat. Mountains also come in the this terrestrial habitat. Okay, now let's see the definition of terrestrial habitat. Terrestrial habitat, the surface of land of terrestrial habitat. A wide variety of plants and animals live on the land. Terrestrial habitat include deserts, forest, mountain and grassland. So desert, mountains, forest and grassland, all these are in the terrestrial habitats, and the organisms that live in these deserts, forests, mountain and grassland, they are having the terrestrial habitat. They are all having the terrestrial habitat. So this is the terrestrial habitat, means land based habitat is known as the terrestrial habitat. And after this, it is the aquatic habitat. Aquatic means water based. So water based habitat is known as the aquatic habitat. As you know, aqua, water. So aqua means water, so aquatic means water based habitat. So habitat that is water based, means these animals which live in water are known as the is known as the aquatic habitat. So like pond, swamp, lakes, rivers and oceans are some examples of aquatic habitat. We know pond, lakes, rivers and ocean. What is swamp? Swamp is what? That is daldal in Hindi. Daldal, you know, daldal. So that is the swamp. So animals living in these habitat, they are having the aquatic habitat. Now these, as you can see, these all the fishes and small plants are also there. Crabs are there, starfish, all the fishes, they are having the aquatic habitat. So anything that grows inside water, or that they are having the features that they can survive in water. So as we know that fishes are having gills in their body to breathe. Yes or no? as we have studied in the previous chapter, and they are also having this streamlined shape. So all these features enable them to survive in the aquatic habitat. After this we will come to the adaptation. Adaptation is the, we have studied the specific features and behavior of organism that enable them to survive in a particular habitat is called its adaptation. This we have studied also. Now fish is adapted to live in water, and monkey on the trees, camel in the deserts, we living beings on in our houses on the ground. Can we breathe inside, can we live inside water? No, we can't live, because our adaptation is the land only, terrestrial based habitat is for human being, so we can live inside in the land only. Okay, now we'll study about the adaptation of terrestrial habitats. Adaptation of terrestrial habitat means in terrestrial habitat which type of features are required by organism. Different organisms require different features to survive in different habitats. So in the terrestrial habitat, in the land based habitat, which type of features are required we'll study. Now first of all we'll study about the desert. Now in the desert we all know that if many plants are in the desert. Now in these plants, how they grow, how they're able to survive only in the deserts we'll study. Now some features are there in the desert plants. Some features are there. First is they are having very long root, they are having very long and deep root. Their roots are very deep, and they can go from here to there, means they are very deep, so they can pull water from different areas where water is available, and that give to the plant. So they have very deep roots, so they can take the underground water. So they have very deep root system to take the or draw out the underground water. Now second is some plants have leaves that are modified in the form of spines to reduce water loss. In the desert plants, they have leaves in the form of spines. Sometimes they don't have leaves in their this in the plants, but if they are having leaves, they are in the form of spines. They are from the form of spines, even needle one. Yes, they are forming the cactus, you must have seen. So it is having the needles, yes or no? So that needles are the modified leaves, means leaves are modified in the form of spines. They are modified in the form of spines, and so that water will not loss through here in through the form of transpiration. We know on the surface of leaf which process occur, transpiration. So if there will be no leaves, it will be in the form of spines, so no transpiration will form occur. Okay, means very less transpiration will occur from the only the tip of the needle. So the spines are reduced to are in the form of spines to reduce the water loss. The next one is the stem of the plant perform the process of photosynthesis. As leaves are not very big, so they are in the form of spines, or the leaves are in the form of spines, so they cannot perform the function of photosynthesis. So that is performed by the stem. Yes, stem of the cactus plant perform the process of photosynthesis. Desert plants are usually coated with the waxy coating to prevent the water loss. The desert plants are usually coated of waxy. If you have seen cactus, you will take out you can take anything from there. So you will see that inside the cactus a waxy light fluid is there. It is white in color, and it is sticky type. So it is what, it is waxy coating that is in the cactus plant that will prevent the water loss. So this is all about the water these plants. So now these desert animals will take in the next video. So now you all know that reading of book is very important. Through this examination you must be knowing that all the questions were from the book only. Means if you have studied the book very well, means your exam will be good. So for next time be prepared, because I know this time what's your condition. I have seen all the things, so it is better to study all the concept in your all the this pages of your book very deeply, each and every one. So your homework is read the chapter number 9, read the chapter, make your own notes, make your own questions out of them, make your own MCQ questions out of them. Okay, so we'll take desert animals in the next video. Till then, take care.